It's really tough. All right, Miles Jack after the game. He was what happened out there, Mr. Miles Jack?
They just came out fast, man. We pinned them down early, had them deep. They made a couple plays, couple turnovers here and there, but we just didn't answer. We didn't execute. When you play a team like that, they're a big play team. So you either got to match the big players or you got to eliminate the big plays and try to make more than them. And we didn't. You got to give them credit.
And he had more to say in the locker room that was a result of responding to what someone else said. From the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette and our great friend Ray Fittipaldo, the Steelers had just suffered their worst loss in 33 seasons, matched their worst start to a season in the past 9 years. The moments after reporters were allowed in the locker room following that loss, Steelers defensive back Arthur Maulet challenged his team. You have to love this, Maulet said as he emerged from his locker stall and walked toward the middle of the room. I'm guessing he said it sarcastically, right? Several of his teammates tried to quiet him because reporters were present. Maulet did not stop his rant. No, man, you're losing like that, and guys are laughing and smiling on the sideline. It's 38-3, and people are laughing on the bench. You have to love it. Maulet declined to be interviewed and exited the locker room after he showered, but Miles Jack, who you just heard right there, said he didn't have a problem with Maulet speaking up. You want that. Everyone reacts to different scenarios in different ways. You want emotion. You want fire. You want people to be ticked off. If everyone was in here laughing and giggling, it would be embarrassing. End quote. That's from Jack. Yeah, Arthur Maulet, that's great, but it's Arthur Maulet, you know? No disrespect to him. Everybody handles losses differently, and I get that, and it's not the end of the world for everyone, but I guess it's a positive that Arthur Maulet lost it a little bit.
I think it's an issue that Arthur Maulet lost it a little bit because, like you said, it's Arthur Maulet. Why is he losing it and not some of your big dogs? Why isn't Najee losing it? Why isn't Cam Hayward losing it? Why isn't other guys calling each other out and holding each other accountable? But you have Arthur Maulet doing that.
I mean,
it should never get to that guy.
I don't know if you guys sensed it. It felt like the defensive side of the ball, at least. I mean, at least the offensive side, they were still fighting every time Kenny Pickett took a hit. The defensive side of the ball kind of gave up in the second half yesterday. Some of that had to do with the personnel that was on the field, but it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It looked like they had cashed out about halfway through late third quarter after the Diggs touchdown. They gave up, and I think that's what Arthur Maulet may have been ranting and raving about in the locker room.
Yeah, and a number of times I saw defensive backs looking at each other after big plays. Communication was an issue. Some frustration spilled over onto the field, and I get that there should be frustration. If Arthur Maulet's the guy who has to settle the team down, you don't got enough leaders.
Nope.
I mean, it's just point blank, period.
I'll say the talent was one thing. There really was. And the talent at some points on that football field was really bad.
Yeah.
Like Josh Jackson and James Pierre, they look like whenever spring training, Garth Brooks and Billy Crystal were playing in those games. Like, they got gifted an opportunity to play in those games.
What is a Josh Jackson?
I didn't even know he was on the I tried to look him up on the roster when I saw number 16 flash across the screen. He wasn't listed on the roster yesterday. At least not in the app.
You could tell, and you could see as soon as they went in, and as soon as they were in a bit of a single coverage, Josh Allen just went, excuse me, stop everything. I'm going to throw it this way.